Welcome back to the flow state. Let's dive straight into our ultimate explainer on mastering your 2026 AP score release. If you've been kind of stressing over those upcoming numbers, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to transform all that waiting anxiety into a highly actionable strategy.
Look, I totally get it. We completely acknowledge the dread and anxiety that always surrounds AP score season. It's this heavy, high-pressure moment, right? You've literally spent an entire academic year grinding through coursework, and suddenly it all boils down to a single digit. But hey, take a breath. We're going to navigate this whole thing together, step by step, so you end up in total control of your college transcript. And before we unlock the secrets of the College Board portal, do me a super quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. Seriously, it's your very first step to getting into the flow state for your entire college prep journey, and it guarantees you never miss out on these high-value explainers.
Okay, here's our rapid-fire roadmap for today. We're covering 1. Cracking the AP score scale, 2. How to access your scores, 3. Sending scores to colleges, 4. Canceling versus withholding scores, and 5. Troubleshooting missing AP scores. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Cracking the AP score scale. What the numbers actually mean.
So let's look at the reality of the number 3 for a second. Notice how a 3 is officially categorized as qualified and actually translates to a B or C in college. There's this huge myth out there that you absolutely need a perfect 5 to succeed. But honestly, a 3 is officially passing and qualifies for actual college credit at tons of large state universities and mid-selective colleges. A 5 is a universally accepted home run. A 4 is fantastic almost everywhere. But a 3? It's absolutely a solid, usable score depending on the institution you're looking at.
But you might be wondering, how do they actually arrive at that number? Well, your 1 through 5 isn't just a simple percentage of the questions you got right. It's actually a carefully weighted composite score. So your multiple choice section is graded by a computer, while your free response essays are graded by human AP readers. Those raw points are then combined into a composite, which gets measured against annual cut scores. And those cut scores actually change in difficulty from year to year, just to keep the scale perfectly calibrated.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why context matters so much. Look at these historical score distributions. AP Calculus BC often sees a 5 rate of over 40%. Now, that's largely because it's a highly self-selective class filled with really strong math students. Meanwhile, a widely taken class like AP US Government often sits around a 15% 5 rate. So a 3 in a rigorously self-selective exam like Physics C or Calc BC signals incredible achievement in hard work, and colleges read that entirely differently than a 3 in a completely different subject. Moving right along to Section 2, how to access your scores the official way and a really cool pro hack.
All right, circle it in red on your calendars right now. Monday, July 6, 2026, this is the magic date when scores start rolling out on the College Board portal. But keep in mind this is a rolling release. If you log on at exactly midnight and don't see anything, please do not panic. It can easily take a few hours or even days for the system to populate everyone's results. And before you start frantically tapping your phone on July 6th, I've got to point out an incredibly common misconception we see all over Reddit every single year. The College Board mobile app does not display AP scores. No way. You absolutely must use a web browser, whether that's on your phone, your tablet, or your computer, to log into the official website.
Now for our dual-enrolled students or incoming committed college freshmen, I have a fantastic pro hack for you. Colleges actually process score files several days in advance so they can handle course credits. So if you log into your specific college's internal student portal around July 1st and navigate over to your unofficial transcript or transfer credit report, you might just see your AP credits populate early. It's an amazing insider trick to totally bypass that crazy July 6th traffic jam.
For everyone else who's relying on the official July 6th release, the crucial point here is to prep your account right now. Seriously, recover your original MyAP account password today. On the morning of July 6th, password recovery emails are going to be severely delayed because of massive site traffic. And whatever you do, do not create a duplicate account. A duplicate account is literally the #1 reason student scores get delayed, because the system just struggles to match up your records. Let's jump to Section 3. Sending scores to colleges, building your official transcript.
Okay, here is the scoop on sending those scores. First off, the June 20th deadline to designate a free score recipient has already passed for 2026. So standard reports are now going to cost you $15 each. But here's the absolute most important detail. When you send an official report to a college, they receive your entire AP score history. Yeah, the whole shebang. That means if you knocked it out of the park as a junior, but maybe got a 2 on an exam during your sophomore year, that 2 is going along for the ride like an uninvited guest, unless you actively step in to manage it. Now, you can, of course, self-report selected scores on the Common App, but eventually those official transcripts will be required.
Which brings us to Section 4, canceling versus withholding scores, damage control for low scores. College consultant Dr. June noted that the single most common emotionally charged question he gets every single summer is anxious parents whispering, "Can we just erase the score?" It's a completely normal reaction to a disappointing number. And the truth is, you actually do have tools to control exactly who sees what. It is vital to clearly contrast your two main options here because they are very different. Canceling a score permanently deletes it from existence. Poof, gone. It's a free service, but the deadline to prevent a score from reaching a free recipient was June 15th, which has already passed. Withholding a score, on the other hand, is a super flexible hiding tactic. It costs $10 per score per college, but it simply masks the score on the report. The score itself stays on your College Board file, and you can request withhold it any time after the July 6th release. So if you miss the cancellation window, withholding is your ultimate safety net to ensure you remain in total control of your narrative. All right, final section, Section 5, troubleshooting missing AP scores. What to do when the portal is empty.
Mapping out these critical deadlines is totally essential, so you know exactly when to practice patience and when it's time to take action. So, July 6th, that's just the starting line. If your score isn't there, just wait. August 15th, now that's the official checkpoint. If your 2026 scores are still completely missing by mid-August, that is the exact date you officially contact AP Services for Students. Also, jot down October 31st. That's the deadline if you want to pay $30 to have the multiple choice section of an eligible paper exam hand rescored.
But before you panic, let's look at why a score might be delayed in the first place. Did you have a late testing date? Because that automatically pushes your release back. Sometimes the system literally just needs extra time to match your physical exam booklet to your digital profile. And as I mentioned earlier, duplicate accounts are a massive culprit here. Also, remember, if you took 3 exams and only 2 are showing up, it means your account is perfectly fine, but that one specific exam subject is just delayed in processing. So take a deep breath, it will show up, you really just need a little patience. At the end of the day, I really want to leave you with this fantastic perspective from the YouTube creator, Mr. AP. A low score does not define your academic journey or your potential. It basically just represents a few hours on a random Tuesday in May. Colleges look at your holistic transcript, your rigor, your essays, your grades. You are vastly more than a single composite integer. So the choice is entirely yours. Will you let a single number disrupt your flow state, or will you use these strategies to master your college journey? You now have the exact playbook to access, manage, hide, or leverage your 2026 AP scores. Take control of your transcript, execute your plan, and just keep pushing forward. If you found this explainer valuable, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the Flow State for continuous mastery of your college prep journey. See you in the next one.